In a small African village called Munyoro, surrounded by tall trees and hills, everyone lived in peace. They farmed, sang songs, and told stories by the fire at night. But no one ever went into the dark forest. The villagers said it was cursed. They whispered about spirits that roamed there, looking for anyone foolish enough to enter. 17-year-old Amani, a brave but curious boy, always heard these stories. His grandmother told him, the forest is home to Nyoka, the serpent spirit. It keeps the souls of anyone who dares to disturb its land. Amani, however, didn't believe in such tales. They are just stories to scare children, he thought. One day, when Amani's father fell sick, the village healer told them they needed a rare herb called njugu root to save him. Unfortunately, the herb only grew deep in the dark forest. The villagers begged the healer to think of another cure, but she shook her head. It's the only way. Seeing his father weak and struggling to breathe, Amani made up his mind. He would enter the forest, find the herb, and save his father. At dawn, Amani slipped into the forest without telling anyone. The air was cold, and the trees were so thick that barely any sunlight came through. Every step felt heavy, as if the ground was pulling him down. He heard whispers, but when he turned around, no one was there. As he walked deeper, he saw strange markings on the trees. They glowed faintly, like eyes watching him. Amani's heart pounded, but he reminded himself, I'm doing this for Papa. Finally, he found the njugu root. It grew near a bubbling stream, its red flowers glowing faintly. But as he reached out to pluck it, the ground beneath him trembled. A deep, hissing voice echoed, "Who dares disturb my land?" Amani froze. Out of the shadows emerged Nyoka, a massive serpent with glowing green eyes and scales that shimmered like fire. "Please, I didn't mean to disturb you," Amani stammered. "I just need this herb to save my father." Nyoka slithered closer, circling Amani. "Every choice has a price," the serpent hissed. "Take the herb, and your father will live. But you will belong to me forever." Amani's heart sank. "Forever?" "Yes," Nyoka said. "Once you save him, you can never leave this forest. Your soul will stay here, bound to my will." Amani was torn. He thought of his father, his family, and his dreams of growing up. But he also thought of his father's kind smile and how he couldn't bear to lose him. Finally, with tears in his eyes, Amani said, "I'll do it." He grabbed the herb, and Nyoka let out a chilling laugh. "Your fate is sealed, child." Amani ran out of the forest as fast as he could, clutching the herb tightly. When he returned to the village, the healer quickly prepared a medicine for his father. Within hours, his father was sitting up, smiling and full of life. The villagers cheered, calling Amani a hero. But Amani couldn't smile. He felt something dark inside him, like a shadow that wouldn't go away. That night, as the village celebrated, Amani sat alone by the fire. Suddenly, he heard the same hissing voice in his ear, "You belong to me now." Over the next few days, strange things started happening. Amani would wake up with scratches on his arms as if something had clawed him in his sleep. He would see Nyoka's glowing eyes in the shadows, even during the day. Worst of all, animals in the village began disappearing. Chickens, goats, even a cow, all gone without a trace. The villagers grew afraid. "Something evil is among us," they whispered. One night, Amani woke up to find himself standing in the middle of the village, holding a dead chicken in his hands. He had no memory of how he got there. Then he realized the truth: Nyoka wasn't just haunting him. The serpent was controlling him. Desperate, Amani went back to the healer and told her everything. She listened carefully, her face pale. "There's only one way to break the curse," she said. "You must return to the forest and face Nyoka. But this time, you must trick it." "How?" Amani asked. "You must offer it something it desires more than your soul," the healer said. "Something powerful." The next day, Amani went back into the forest. This time, he carried a small clay pot filled with fire ash and a mirror. When Nyoka appeared, the serpent laughed. "Have you come to surrender, little one?" No, Amani said, trying to keep his voice steady. I've come to make a deal. Nyoka's eyes narrowed. What could you possibly offer me? Amani held up the mirror. This is the mirror of souls, he lied. Whoever looks into it will gain the power of every soul trapped inside. Nyoka's eyes glowed greedily. Give it to me, the serpent demanded. Amani hesitated. If I give this to you, you must release me and promise never to harm my village again. Nyoka agreed, its hunger for the mirror blinding its judgment. As the serpent looked into the mirror, Amani threw the fire ash onto its body. The ash burned like 1,000 suns, and Nyoka let out a terrible scream. The serpent writhed and vanished into the shadows, defeated. Amani ran out of the forest, his heart pounding with relief. When Amani returned to the village, the curse was lifted. The animals stopped disappearing, and the whispers of Nyoka faded away. The villagers learned the truth about Amani's bravery and hailed him as a true hero. But Amani had learned a valuable lesson. Bravery is not just about facing danger but also about making wise choices. He realized that curiosity and courage must be balanced with caution and respect for the unknown. From that day, the villagers told Amani's story to their children, teaching them to respect nature and never take what does not belong to them. Moral of the story. Sometimes, our greatest strength lies in our wisdom, not just our courage. Always think carefully before making decisions, especially when the cost is greater than it seems.